Hi guys, welcome to another video. This is also going to be another problem video. I said I was going to make the next video theory, but I saw this problem. It was a nice problem, so I decided to do one more problem video before we head on to the theory. So without further ado, let's just get going. Begin with a circular piece of paper with a 4-inch radius as shown in part A. Cut out a sector with an arc length of x. Join the edges of the remaining portion to form a cone with a radius r and a height h as shown in part B. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, so we have a circular paper. Okay, so that's this paper here. And we are cutting out this segment here. This grayed out part is what we cut out, and that is of length, arc length x, and the radius of the circle is 4. Okay, and what are we asked to find? Okay, so after we do that, we join this paper together, and we have a cone. We have a cone. The hypotenuse here, or the side here, is 4, and the base here is represented here. Okay, so we went from here to here. Okay, and what this problem is asking us to do is to express the radius r as a function of x. So if you guys saw my cube video explaining how to find the edge based on the as a function of the diagonal of the cube, this problem is similar to that. Okay, I'll put a link up of that video somewhere on the screen, and you'll be able to check that out if you want. But basically, it's very similar to that. Once we find one answer, the rest is just plug and play. The non-trivial part is just to understand the logic of going from here to here. Okay, so let's start by solving this problem. Okay, so let's see what we need to notice first. Okay, so what we need to notice first is that the circumference of the base of this cone is actually equal to the circumference of this circle minus x. Do you agree? Because if we stick this part to this part, we get a circle here, and this circle is going to have to be the length of this minus x, right? Because we're just connecting these pieces together. So the maximum length has to be this section here, and that section here is the circumference of this circle minus x. So let's start by finding the circumference of this circle. So the circumference of this circle is 2 pi times 4, which is the radius. So 2 pi times 4. So let me just write 8. Okay, let me just get my pen. So it's the circumference of the big circle, okay, is 8 pi minus 4. 8 pi minus x, okay? Because it's 2 pi r, okay? And r is 4, and 2 pi is the part of the formula, and 4 times 2 is 8, so we have 8 pi, which is the circumference of the circle, minus x. So we found the circumference of this cone, okay? All right, so what else do we know? We actually have another formula for this cone. Okay, so the formula for this cone is also equal to 2 pi times r. Do you see it? Because this r, okay, this r here is from this circle, and the equation for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi times r. So once we do this, we could isolate for r, and we'll have 8 pi minus x is equal to r. 8 pi minus x divided by 2 pi is equal to r. Okay, and what did we do here? What we did is we just solved the first part, express the radius r as a function of x. Here I have the radius r, and I expressed it as a function of x. Okay, so the first part is solved. Now let's go on to solve the second part. Okay, so the first part is solved. Now let's go on to solve the second part. The second part is express the height h as a function of x. Okay, so how can we do that? Well, let's see. We have a right angle triangle here. So what does that tell us? The Pythagorean theorem, right? Because once we have a right angle triangle and we know two sides, we know we can find the third side by the help of the Pythagorean theorem, right? So let's just go ahead and do that. So let's go. Let me just make a little space. And we have 2. Okay? So we have h squared, which is our height, plus r squared, which is we found out here, which is 8 pi minus x divided by 2 pi squared is equal to 4 squared, which is 16. Okay? And now let's start isolating for h. So we can say h squared is equal to 16 minus everything here, right? So what's there is 8 pi minus x squared over 4 pi squared. Okay, so now we solve for h squared. Now let's just solve for h. H is equal to 16 minus 8 pi minus x squared over 4 pi squared square root. Okay, so we just solved for h. So now what did we do here? We're expressing h as a function of x. And since we expressed h as a function of x, we solved the second problem. Express the height h as a function of x. That's solved too. So all that's left now is to express the volume V of the cone as a function of x. So how do we do that? Well, we have a formula that tells us how to find the volume of a cone. Okay, so the formula is 1/3 times pi r squared times height. Okay, so we could also solve this, right? We know what pi is, we know what r is, and we just found out what h is. So we just plug it into this formula and we'll be able to solve the third question. So this part, guys, I'm going to leave it for you guys to solve on your own and put your answers in the comment section below. I'll take a look at them. You could also compare your answers with other people that comment. And yeah, so that could be a nice little challenge for you. Okay, so this problem, guys, truly the only difficult part or the non-trivial part is just to see how we can go from here to here. And once we do that, we just draw all the information we can, and then we'll be able to solve it a bit at a time. Okay? So once again, guys, thank you for listening. And the next video actually will be a theory video. So that's it, guys. Have a great one, and let's catch you next time. Bye.